What's going on, guys? Zennosh here, and today I'm bringing this video to you guys on about the list of top 10 defense ignoring DPS servants. Yes, those servants that can ignore the defense of the opponent and can deal a lot of good damage, the raw damage, the pure damage that is really good at seeing, right? Especially for the beginners, they are very popular because it's very easy to build them and to use them. Yes, and so before starting this video, I would really love to recommend you guys to subscribe to my channel, and please leave your views and opinions in the comment section below after this video, and please do consider donating to this channel to help this channel grow. Now let's get our list started. In the number 10, we have Forest Simone, the Knight of Remorse. He is a forest unit, melee DPS. So looking into his stats, obviously with the fast skill, he has this chance of increasing the damage received by the enemy for 30 seconds by level 5, which is pretty good. Okay, it's a very essential skill for a defense ignoring DPS servant. This can actually help them to add up to the damage output. Okay, it's really good. So that's a really good plus point. Okay, and the second skill, obviously increasing the attack of the caster by 60 seconds at level 5 skill. That is really good. Okay, and the combo skill, yes, that's why he is here in the list, right? Deals damage that ignores the enemy's defense, right? And the next one is the passive skill. Now this is where he actually has a really good advantage, okay, especially against the elements of weaker affinity. Okay, when battling a water enemy, obviously he himself being the forest element, increases damage by 30% upon being hit. So yes, you will deal 30% more damage to them, and every attack received lands as the glancing hit when the caster is under attack. So glancing hit meaning like he won't be suffering any sort of debuffs on him, right? And then he will be receiving less damage, so he has more increased survivability. That means he can have a little bit better chance of doing very awesome things in the Omen 11F, as the Omen 11F, it's a water element type, right? If an ally Sphinx is present, attack increases by 100%. Yes, so Sphinx are pretty much a little bit underrated servants, but yes, they are pretty good healers as well. Anyways, team passive, attack of all element allies increases by 45% at the PvP. So he's pretty much restricted to the PvP, but that 45% attack boost is pretty mouth-watering, right? And now let's move on to the number 9. In the number 9, we have Water Heide, the Fallen Knight. Yes, right now he's available in the combo summon list, combined summon list, right? So try to get him right away. He's a really good servant. You would really love to have him in your arsenal. Anyways, now let's start talking about him. With his team passive, yes, there is a 52% boost in his attack, but it's only limited in the tower, so that is pretty much restrictive. That's why he's a little bit down in this list, or else he could have a more, greater viability. And the next one is the passive skill. Okay, it deals damage based on the attack if the target is in death down state upon the combo skill use. So yes, if the target or the opponent is in the death down state, he is not gonna be that defense ignoring servant. Okay, I mean, like he's not gonna deal that damage that's gonna ignore the defense of the opponent. So that's pretty bad. But deals damage that ignores the enemy's defense if the target is not in a death down state. So you really need to make sure that your target, okay, your opponent, is not in the death down state. And if an allied Sinistra is present, crit rate increases by 50%, which is so bad. Okay, this is also why he's really in the top, in the down list. Okay, and this is why it is that. But still, he is actually in the number 9 because of his final skill. Just look at it. And inescapable as karma delivers a fatal blow to all enemies in the front. So yes, he has a really good chance of knocking out the multiple enemies at a single combo skill uses. Okay, and that's why he's pretty much fatal in the PvP battles. This is the reason why. Deals 6160%, which is pretty small, still small. Damage upon use, damage is based on attack, but when it's about defense ignoring, I think it's about 2900% damage only. So that is pretty low as well. But still, to all enemies in the front, that's an AoE type, right? So that's pretty good. and this is why he is here. Okay, and the next one is the increases caster's attack for the 60 seconds level 5 with the second skill, which is which is important for him. And the fast skill, 70% chance to decrease the enemy defense for 30 seconds level 5. Now this is the thing that is really conflicting with his passive skill. Okay, the fast skill and the passive skill, that's why he's a pretty much a confused sort of unit. Okay, I mean, like, if you really want to consider him as a defense ignoring servant, he is making his own life very, very hard. Okay, so, and the another one, if you want to build him as a a normal attack dealing servant, then 6160% attack boost is also really low, because there are so many servants out there right now who are actually getting about like 7500 plus % damage boost. So that is, I mean, like, so this is the risk that you are gonna take with the water heat, but nonetheless he can actually give you or deliver you a very good result in the PvP battles. Anyways, now let's move on to the number 8. Oh yes, in the number 8 we have our beloved Fire Xita, the Moon Warrior. Okay, he is here because of his team passive. Okay, just look at it. The team passive: attack of fire allies increases by whopping 52% at all regions. Okay, this is what makes the Fire Xita so special. I mean, like, any Xita really special because of their this team passive. Okay, 52% is not a joke. It's really a huge boost. And when talking about the passive skill, 80% chance to increase the character's attack, I mean, like, caster's attack for 15 seconds upon the active skill use. So that is pretty good, right? And when there is an ally Blavatsky is present, attack increases by 100%. And as you guys know, Blavatsky is pretty awesome, pretty cool. Okay, especially the Fire Blavatsky, the support, right? With Fire Blavatsky and the Fire Xita, you are actually gonna have a very, very good time beating down the Omen in the dungeons and in so many contents of the game. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And the combo skill is obviously deals damage that ignores the enemy's defense, right? That's why he is here. 70% chance of decreasing the enemy defense for 60 seconds level 5. Now that is a little bit unwanted, okay? Because, like, a servant that actually decreases the enemy, I mean, like, ignores the enemy's defense, what sort of additional advantage it is gonna bring with that decreasing enemy defense for 60 seconds? So I really, like, it kind of contradicts his main Tego. Okay, I mean, his main motto. The next one is the fast skill Half Moon Slash, increases all allies attack for 30 seconds by level 3. Fear not, you can actually increase that level by his passive skill, so you will have that level 5 in no time. Actually, for me, in most of the cases, just using his fast skill gives me the level 5 attack boost right away. Okay, one from his fast skill and next from his passive skill, so it's pretty good. The only thing that he really lags behind is because of that skill called increases the damage received by the enemy. Okay, that's what he actually like, misses. So that's why he is a little bit right down in the lower tier. Okay, anyways, now let's move on to the number 7. In the number 7, we have Dark Leto, the Scarlet Illusionist. She is right here in the number 7 position because of her first and second skill and the passive skill. Okay, so let's look into the first skill. Yes, she has that needed increased damage received by the enemy for 30 seconds. So damage received by the enemy is kind of boosted up for 30 seconds. That's pretty good. And the next one is the second skill with the caster's attack increased by level 5 for 60 seconds. Pretty awesome, needed for the defense ignoring servants. Combo skill, this is why she is here, right? In the first place, ignores enemy's defense. And the passive skill becomes immune to the speed reduction debuffs. That is pretty good and very conditional, and in like, in certain cases and scenarios, she can actually outshine other servants, right? And reduces all enemies skill gauge by 10%. So whenever she is using her skills, whether it be the first skill, second skill, or the combo skill, okay, she is gonna make sure that the skill gauge of the enemy reduces by 10%. So that is pretty insane when you are actually using it in the PvP battles, right? And in the PvP battles, you will have actually a better hand or advantage. Okay, and if an allied Sinistra is present, attack increases by 100%. That is pretty good. Sinistras in normal elementals are not pretty that good, but when it comes to the light and dark, they are pretty considerable. Okay, And the next one is the team passive. Yes, it's a 45% attack boost, but it's only limited to the PvP. That's why she's a little bit limited, Def Ignoring 7, but her passive skill is pretty unique and really awesome, okay? Anyways, now let's move on to the number 6. So, in the number 6, we have Light Simone, the Knight of Remorse. Just look at his passive skill. Becomes immune to attack debuff. Pretty unique and pretty cool, right? That means like his final damage output is not gonna be affected in any sort of way. If attack is higher than the enemies, increases attack by 50%. Wow, that's really good number. Okay, 50%, damn, for 30 seconds upon his skill use. So whenever he is using any sort of skill, he's gonna have that 50% attack boost. Wow, that's good. But the problem is that your attack needs to be higher than that of the opponent, which is pretty much hard to achieve in the PvP battles unless you have over buffed or over geared your Light Simone. Then that's a different case scenario, right? And if an ally Sphinx is present, attack increases by 100%, right? So that is pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. I mean, like, well, I mean, like, in most of the cases, the Sphinx are really underrated. But when it comes to the Dark Sphinx, she is really good. And the team passive, defense of all element allies increases by 45% at PvP. This is why he is down at the list of 6. Okay, just look at his first skill. 70% chance of increasing damage received by enemy for 30 seconds. Yes, the first, the condition or the requirement to be nearly good, very good. Defense ignoring DPS 7 is right over here. Second skill, increases caster attack for 60 seconds by level 5. Pretty good. Second requirement right over here. And the third requirement of the combo skill is also here, right? And his passive skill is so awesome. And just look at his team passive. Just because of that team passive, he is right down in the number 6. Okay, so that's pretty sad. And he's a light unit. Okay, it's just pretty sad to see it like this way. Okay, anyways, now let's move on to the number 5. In the number 5, we have Water Xita, the Moon Warrior. Obviously, she is here because of her team passive as well, which really boosts her stats really high. Attack of the water allies increases by whopping 52% at all regions. Damn, that is good. I mean, like, she has much more better viability in the Omen 10F and the Omen 11F compared to the fire counterpart, right? That's good. And the passive skill, active skill, hit on the enemy has a 100% chance to decrease the enemy defense for 15 seconds by level 3, okay? Even though it really doesn't make that much of sense for his combo skill, but his first skill and second skill still can crit, right? So that can be pretty good at certain scenario. If an ally Blavatsky, which is a very good unit, okay, whether it be the water Blavatsky or the fire Blavatsky, they are pretty awesome, okay? Attack increases by 100%. Damn. And the Moonlight Blade, that's why he is here, deals damage that ignores the enemy's defense. And the second skill, 70% chance of increasing the damage received by the enemy for 60 seconds by level 5. That's why also she is here, okay? Pretty cool, okay? She is actually fulfilling so many requirements right away. And the first skill, increases all allies attack for 30 seconds by just level 3 only, okay? So now that's what it's really limiting, okay? So you really need to make sure that you have a support unit which is gonna max her attack skill up, okay? I mean, like, the attack buff up, like, let's say Fire Spiegel. With his fast skill, he can actually provide the Water Xita with level 7 of attack boost. So that is pretty good, right? That is pretty good. So anyways, now let's move on to the number 4. In the number 4, of course, we have Light Xita, the Moon Warrior. Yes, with her team passive again, 52% of attack boost for all light allies in all regions. That is really cool, okay? And on top of that one, she's a light unit, right? I'm like, she's a light 7. Now let's look into her passive skill. Combo skill, hit on an enemy with the defense decrease debuff deals 30% additional damage, okay? So that is pretty good. If an ally Blavatsky is present, attack increases by 100%. Yes, the fire Blavatsky, water Blavatsky, they are pretty good, but I would really suggest or recommend you guys to have the fire Blavatsky. And with fire Blavatsky and this Light Xita, you are gonna cause mayhem in the dungeons. And the next one is the Moonlight Blade, the combo skill. That's why he is here in this list. That ignores the enemy's defense. Okay, the damage. And the second skill is the 70% chance of increasing the damage received by the enemy for 60 seconds, level 5. Pretty good, right? I mean, like, he is really fulfilling the requirements. The fastest skill increases all allies attack for 30 seconds by level 3. That means you really need to make sure that, like, you have a very good support at the same time. That's why I'm really asking for the 5 Blavatsky, right? Or you can actually go with the 5 Spiegel, who is gonna actually help him a lot. You need to make sure that there is a support servant in your team who is gonna make sure that the opponent is having the defense decrease debuff on him, right? Or else the 30% additional damage will not be there. So like, you know, like, he's pretty good. The slight Xita, very good DPS servant, but at the same time he's a little bit dependable on the support servants as well. Anyways, now let's move on to the number 3. So, in the number 3, we have Water Ezebell, the accursed child. He is here mainly due to his combo skill. Just look at the description. Rains down a barrage of cards onto enemies. Okay, so it's a multiple target combo skill. So that means, like, if you can actually manage to hit more than one opponent, it's gonna be really good, especially in the PvP contents. Okay, and like making more than one servant or multiple servant, I mean, like, opponents to bite the dust at the same time. Damn, it's so good. Okay, deals damage that ignores the enemy's defense. That's why he's here. Passive skill, combo skill, hit on the enemy with an increased damage received debuff deals 30% additional damage. So that is right over there, 30% additional damage boost, right? If an ally Ram is present, when it comes to the Ram, Forest Ram, and the Fire Ram, they are pretty good tank servants. Okay, they are really good tanks. Okay, if you want, you can have them, and they are really good. And when it comes to the team passive, attack of all element allies increases by 45% at the PvP. So he's really meant for the PvP content. Just look at it, guys. Really for the PvP content, meaning like PvP contents are mostly, I'm like, it's really considered to be the end game content. Okay, so you will have a better hand in the end game content as well. And with the second skill, Hexa deck, increases caster's attack for the 60 seconds by level 5. That is pretty good, right? First requirement met, and the second requirement met with his first skill, 70% chance to increase the damage received by enemy for 30 seconds by level 5. That is so awesome. Okay, I mean, like, all of these skills are really, you know, like, having a proper tandem with each other, unlike the light Simone. So anyways, now let's move on to the number 2. In the number 2, we have Fire Ankou, the last Harbinger. Hate me or love me. Anyways, this servant is weird. I hope you guys have already combined him from the combined summoning. Anyways, let's get into his stats. Okay, just look at his team passive. Attack of all element allies increases by 35% at all regions. Wow, that's pretty good. Pretty solid, okay? Universal attack booster. And the passive skill increases attack by 50%, whopping 50%, just like that, for 30 seconds upon active skill use. Meaning, like, whenever he is casting the first skill or the second skill, he is gonna make sure that his attack is increased by 50%. Wow, that is really good. Okay, very easy to fulfill. Receives fire damage over time for 15 seconds by level 1. No problem. Okay, if an ally Ram is present, attack increases by 100%, which is pretty easy. Okay, Fire Ram, Forest Ram, very good tanks, so you can use them around, right? And the next one, the Garden Tomb. This is why he is here, right? It's a single target combo skill and deals damage that ignores the enemy's defense. Second skill increases caster's attack for 60 seconds by level 5. Which is the basic requirement, and the another requirement, 70% chance to increase the damage received by the enemy for 30 seconds by level 5, which is the another requirement. So he's a sort of like defense ignoring DPS 7 that actually fulfills most of the requirement as a very good DPS servant. Okay, he boosts his attack with his team passive, and then his passive skill further boosts his attack by a total of 150%. That is really good. And then the second skill increases his attack, and the first skill increases the damage that is received by the enemy for 30 seconds. That is just too good. Okay, Fire Ankou, you cannot just go wrong with him. Okay, so that's why he's really in the second place. Now let's move on to the final contender. The number one contender in the list of defense ignoring DPS 7 is obviously the Light A Sphinx, first angel, okay? So let me explain why. Anyways, let's start with a passive skill. Deals damage based on the attack if the target is in defense down state upon combo skill use. Okay. Deals damage that ignores the enemy's defense if the target is not in the defense down state. Wow. Okay. So as long as you make sure that the enemies are not in the defense down state, you are gonna make sure that the attack is gonna land as a defense ignoring damage, right? So that is pretty good. If an ally Simone is present, attack increases by 100%, which is really good because Fire Simone, hands down, one of the best tank in this game, and as well as the Dark Simone. So if you have those kind of two allies, then she is gonna shine. Okay. And now let's move into her combo skill, Divine Scepter. Summons a giant sacred spear to attack the enemy, damaging all enemies nearby with an AoE attack. So you really need to consider the fact that it's an AoE attack and it can actually hurt every enemy possible out there, and at the same time it is a multiple hit combo skill. Okay, actually it's like a 4-hit combo skill, especially against the pesky units such as Fire Heat, Forest Ram, Water Carmilla. They like any sort of tank servants who will limit the damage to the 30% of their max HP only. This combo skill can actually be a very good medicine against them. Okay, it's a very good counter for them. You can KO them in just one combo skill. Deals 7700% damage. That is wappa. That is so good. Okay, upon skill use, damage based on attack. So now look at that damage percentage. 7700% damage. Damn. And if it passes through the defense, but I believe that like it's not the 7700% damage that's gonna pass through the defense. Okay, just like the Water Heat, if it's about the damage that's gonna pass through the defense, it's only about like 2000 something, okay, 2800 something. But when it's a normal attack, then it's 6160. But still, 7700% attack boost is way better than 6160. You can also look at the Forest Valkyria. Just look at it, okay? Just look at this thing in the passive skill. Like in the combo skill, okay, deals 3696% damage upon the skill use, damage based on attack. As with a passive skill, combo skills ignore the defense while shield is active, right? So while the shield is active, her damage is kind of limited to 3696, or maybe it's even lower than that one. Okay, we really don't know. But when it comes to the our main contender, the Light A Sphinx, it is way much more different. Okay, I mean like 7700% damage. That is so good. That is so good. And then when it's gonna ignore the defense, it must be like more than like 3000. Okay, 3000% damage. That's what I believe. Well, Heir of Light is not really good at giving the details, aren't they? So that's a little bit of disaster. But anyways, considering the fact that it's a multiple hit combo skill and it's an AoE attack, that alone makes this thing a hype. Okay, that all makes this thing a hype. So that's really great. And considering the normal attack damage as well, it's really great compared to the other type of similar type of servants. Okay, just like Forest Valkyria and Water Heat, the damage is just phenomenal. Okay, it's just really good, really good. And when talking about the second skill, it's also an AoE attack and increases the cost of attack for 60 seconds. Meaning like just with the normal attacks, you are gonna make a like a massive damage to the whole unit, whole team as well. Okay, especially not just only the tank, but also the the squishy, okay, DPS as well as the support servants, okay, who hide behind the back of the beefy tank. So that's really good, guys. Especially in the PvP contents, you are gonna have a very great advantage. Okay, a lot of advantage like that. And then the first skill is the Galatian Javelin. It's also a AoE skill and it increases the damage received by the enemy for 30 seconds by level 5. Wow, just look at that. I mean, she perfectly meets the requirement as a very good defense ignoring DPS 7, and at the same time with the combo skill, it is making sure that it's an AoE attack, and with the 4-hit combo skill, that she is really making sure that she is gonna counter those pesky units at the same time. So what more do you need? She is gonna make a very swift and fast judgment. Whereas for the team passive, attack of all element allies increases by 45% at PvP. So she is really for the PvP contents, which is the end game content, right? Whenever you are thinking about the end game content, it's really, I don't know, like about the PvP contents. But anyways, even in the normal contents, she is gonna shine through. She is gonna shine a lot. This is a really great attack boost. Okay, these are really awesome stats, and I'm really in love with this kind of skills. Okay, so anyways, this is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to keep on enjoying the contents of my channel. And guys, please leave your views and opinions in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about this video. And guys, please do consider to donate in order to improve this channel. Okay, anyways, see you guys in the next video.